Hello, all. Hello. I am so excited today to introduce you to one of my friends, Ms. Kate Emerson from South Africa. And Kate is an amazing individual, as you will see in just about 1 minute. But let me introduce Kate. Kate gallivants around the world living location-free. She is a best-selling author, international speaker, and director of the Quick Shift Deva. And yes, that is Deva, D-E-V-A, and I will let Kate explain more about that in a moment. And the Quick Shift Deva is a company dedicated to sharing the motto, live light, live large. She shares her enlightening ideas through retreats in idyllic locations, professional speaking, mastermind groups, and coaching. And with that, welcome Kate. Hi, Kate.
Oh, thank you so much, Kelly. I always laugh when people say South Africa because I don't think of this as my home anymore. I think of myself as this gallivanter, this global citizen. But it's lovely to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, well, we're so thrilled to get some time, as I know we were just chatting in such a busy time at this end of the year, and I love this time of year, as I know you do, and we can get into that. But first of all, please explain to us what Deva is all about, what that means.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Because of course, when my website went live, clients and people would say, Kate, you've got a spelling, like your branding's wrong. It's Deva. And I'm like, no, it's Deva or Deva. And it's a Sanskrit word, so the ancient Indian language. And it's got a couple of meanings, but it's threaded through divine spirit, good being, or actually shining light, shining one. And so it's not just, that's not about me, it's about what do I help my clients do? So how do we all shine that little light so it's a little bolder, a little brighter, a little more kind of all-encompassing? How do we kind of put our shoulders back, shine our light, and just share our love with the world? Yes. So that's what that word means and why it's important to me and my branding and my message and my motto.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Well, I love that. And it certainly fits with you, that's for sure. I love that. But tell us a little more about you and your businesses and sort of what you've got going on. And maybe we'll just get into sort of what we got going on for the last bit of this fourth quarter here in 2018.
Okay, fantastic. So, yeah, my world has changed a little bit in the last sort of year. So I turned 50 this year, and that was quite a pivotal time for me, and I never realized it was going to be, but I've almost changed, not direction, but just what is meaningful and what matters to me. So we were chatting earlier about how being busy is so exciting, and I come from being one of the busiest people I know, and I've kind of changed tack a little bit. So I love being busy, and now I've got to the stage where I also equally love lots of downtime and rest and defragging and retreats. And so running retreats has become a huge part of what I do, as opposed to running conferences and workshops and speaking and being in people's homes, decluttering and very busy and, lots of energy. And actually, I've become a little more intrigued with the idea of slowing down and kind of decluttering the busyness and the mental space. And so taking more time off, more time out, taking people on retreats. Kind of that's like a little new for me, sort of that slowing down, and I'm loving it, and I'm reveling in it. I know my body's loving it. So definitely not becoming a sloth, but just changing the rhythm of my year, the rhythm of my work. And we were talking about this time of year because I believe that we need a rhythm throughout the year, whereas I used to be go all the time, and that's not important to me anymore. So I'm still writing books. I still speak, not as actively, but I still speak around the world, run retreats around the world. I've been doing work with the YPO, facilitating, have some long-standing clients. I mean, I've been coaching for the last 15 years. And a large part of my work now is helping other writers find their confidence and breaking through all of their own emotional, mental, spiritual clutter so that they can write their books. And so I also believe in collaborating. So I collaborate with some amazing people. To kind of, so that we combine our strengths and kind of bring something different to the world. So that's where I'm at with my work. Very exciting, and I love it.
Wonderful. Well, I certainly, what is the proper name of your book? I don't want to get it wrong.
Oh, well, I've got three. So first one is Clear Your Clutter.
Yes,
and
that's
then
the one.
Second one was Ditch Your Glitch. Third one is Shift Your Home, which is specifically for people selling their home, and how do we say goodbye to the home, to that chapter of our lives, as opposed to just, slapping a for sale sign on and hoping for the best, or hoping the realtor is going to do their job. It's taking a little more control. So that's my third book.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And oh my gosh, a million years ago, I worked in real estate. So I love that. What a great gift to give a new listing, a book like that. Because it is
exactly
true, especially when you've lived in the home a little while and you maybe raised kids, or you've just got, really special memories. It's not like selling a car, right? Which some people who love their cars would maybe be in the same boat. You've got this emotional attachment that needs to be worked through. So
absolutely. And even if it's something that people are wanting to do, so even if it's an exciting or an aspirational, or they know every part of them wants to, so they still have to say goodbye, and they have to just take every part of them with them and leave all the challenges. So I love that work, and that's also like one of the places my energy is going. So I don't so much declutter clients' homes unless they are selling them. So I've linked it to that more. So it's just got a little more mindful purpose for me.
Yes. Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, I know you do many things, as do I, in the coaching world, but I know I thought it was such a juicy topic, and that it is so timely at this time of year. Speaking about finishing strong for, the fourth quarter. So I know certainly in my business, I have just been hunkered down, other than doing my podcasts and interviews and all this, because that's part of my mastermind, my commitment that I made. It is, really setting yourself up on a solid foundation for first quarter next year. And instead of, I coach my own clients to put this into practice, but, as opposed to many who was like, November hits, or even October, mid-October. In Canada, we have Thanksgiving a little earlier as opposed to the US has theirs in November. So, but I know, since I've been back in Canada, I've noticed Canadians sort of like, okay, well, it's the holiday season, and they sort of just let it all go, right? Lose all your momentum, when in fact, like this time of year is so juicy, and oh my God, you can focus and network and just get so much done and build business for next year. So tell us about like what you're doing and what you're doing with your clients, or what your thoughts around finishing strong.
Yeah, so I call it Closeout strong. And, in South Africa, often our end of financial year is end of February. But always, no matter what someone's culture or religion, or, whether you're celebrating Jewish New Year or Chinese New Year or Diwali, there is still, because we work to this calendar, this Gregorian calendar, there is still this resonance with the 31st of December. Whether you go out and kick up your heels and put on a party frock on New Year's Eve, there is something that happens when that closure of the year happens. It's in our psyche. I even go goosebumps. It's in our build-up. It's in our momentum. And so I find at this time people are frenetic, and they're chaotic, and they're pulled in lots of different directions, and they're having their Christmas parties, and they're trying to get their figures in and their numbers in, and the families and the holidays, and people just lose it a little bit. And they, as you say, they tend to just, I call it, they peter out, and they're, and I talk about, there's a great, David Jones says, quit your flapping and ride your thermals.
Oh, I love that.
And a year ago, I was in San Francisco, and I was like staying on the bay, and these birds were above me, and I was trying to video them, and they were just soaring, no effort at all. And yet I find so many people at this time of year are just flapping. They're not focused. They're not laser sharp. They're not kind of propelling themselves forward. They're just all over the place. And it's such a waste of energy. So in my world, I'm always about, what are we doing with our energy, with our focus? Is it being, are all our train carriages pulling in the same direction? That's what I talk about. And so for me, I say, how do we end tall, like proud and tall? And it doesn't, some people have had quite a hectic year, and I talk about fab or crap, or a combination of both. And so for me, it's not so much just yet about setting up for 2019, because I think what happens is people go, oh, this year's been hard, or oh, I'm done, or the holidays are here, and they're already thinking next year. I like people to pause a little more and just bring their energy still to now, and do a very mindful, conscious, purposeful, let me put this year to bed. And then it's like, okay, now I can wake up and do the next part. But I find that often people are flitting too much to the new affair of next year, as opposed to actually the solid, like, how do I thank the year? How do I do my gratitude? How do I call it harnessing the challenges,
Mm-hmm.
because too often it's like, well, this is great, this is hard, but well, what have we learned? So how do we take the lessons and the gifts and the insights and the wisdom
Yes.
and go like, okay, I've embedded that in. So now I've got that layer. I can build on that next year. But I often find that people are just too quick to skip over this time. So
Yeah.
for me, it's a time of reflection, a time of acknowledgement, a time of grace and thankfulness,
Mm-hmm.
and mindfulness. And so I take people through like practical exercises because it's such a beautiful time of year, because then it's like, okay, I'm done with the year and the year's done with me, but you're proud of
Yes.
everything, whether it's been tough or easy.
Mm-hmm.
And that, it like makes people stand taller,
Yes.
and beam better and be more present with their families, because they feel like they've now done a proper closure. So I think for me, it's around the consciousness with which we end the year. So sometimes I say to people, do all the exercises on the 31st if you want, or do it over 5 days, or take 3 weeks to do it. Do it from now until the end of the year. But do
Yes.
something that is a little different to just kind of running at that finish line. Don't, make it fun, make it matter, make it purposeful.
Yeah, I love what you just said there, instead of running at that finish line, because I think that's exactly right. Especially I have found with even myself, but for sure watching clients, if they've had kind of a not a great year, it's like they just can't do anything to get this over with, right? And
Mhm.
sometimes just check out, you know, and
Exactly.
and get busy with stuff that doesn't matter, right?
Absolutely.
Instead of exactly what you're doing, let there be some closure, let there be some reflection, let there be some celebration on what did work. Because, one of my conversations would be and is, what worked, what didn't, what can we leverage, what can we not, what can we get rid of,
Mhm.
what's new, what are we going to design, all of that.
Exactly.
Um,
All of that.
Instead of just like, okay, let's just get this year over with and they're ready to check out like in September, right? And get to the next year, but with no closure. I love that. But and then with no they still got this angst. They're still carrying this angst with them, right? Going into the new year, where
Yes.
where this getting rid of. I really love that, getting rid of
Mhm.
and sort of healing from
Mm.
whatever it is that you would like to just let go of that from this past year, and make room for the new, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's that pause, so that you have that pause, even if the pause is from 11 o'clock, on the 31st to the morning of the first, but just that little pause. I love it when you said they check out. And actually, what I demand of my clients is that they actually check in right
Yeah.
now. Like, it's actually the time to check in, and still, you can still kind of tell the year who's boss. The year doesn't have to have one over you.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I think it's just, I do, my eyes light up about this time, because it's, I know you talk about ignite, and it's always about what is the thing that puts that flame, like the sparkle in our eye, and kind
Yeah.
of builds the passion. And yeah, one of the other things I talk about, which I think is quite an interesting conversation, is how does every year have a theme? So
Yeah.
often people think about goals, and what are they going to do, and maybe it's business, but as coaches we work with many facets of life. So I work with 8, but I always get people to retrospectively, if they haven't done the process with me at the beginning of the year, and I go, what's this year been about? If you could give it, say if it was the title of a book, and you could give
Right.
it one word or a sentence, what would the theme of the year gone by be for you?
Mm-hmm.
And then I get them to start thinking at the beginning of the next year, okay, what is the theme you want to live into for
Yes.
this year? Because then when things get chaotic and a bit frenetic, and you go, but what am I doing this year? Like, what is this year actually about? And you've got one thing, one theme, the essence of it, that you can bring yourself back to time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
That helps cut the clutter out, because otherwise there's too many things that are pulling in too many directions. So having one theme, I have found, is a game changer for me and my clients.
Yes, 1000%. It is exactly what I do personally. Like for like 20 years, I've done that. And, like last year, and I like to form it around a word or a very short phrase. And so last year, there was a lot going on in my own personal life, and I'm moving countries, and we're building a house, and oh my God, like a million things, kids, and anyway, it's all good. So my word and I was shifting up my business. Like I've just rebranded. I brought 5 businesses under one. Anyway, a lot of plates in the air. And so I said, you know what? Through all of this, I want to have a lot of fun. And so my word was fun. And so the way I'm going to get through this is to continue on my travel, because as you know, I love to travel, 71 countries and counting, and clients all over the world. So, I mean, I love to mix work with my travel, but, fun was my word. And so this year, my word is strong. And I mean strong in my body. I've gained some weight this year, and I'm not feeling not strong physically. And for me, fitness has been a big part of my life. So I don't feel strong. So strong is my word. Strong in my new branding. Strong in my new organization, in the people that I hire, in the clients that I attract, in my relationships with my husband, with my kids, with everyone. And and then I'm also marking it with a ritual. So I have also a thing about habitual rituals and how
I love that.
really rule your life, right? Habitual rituals. So, and so I am going to do like a polar bear swim New Year's Day, which I've already committed to and told people about, and I'm telling again. So, I mean, that for me, that will mark strong, because even though I'm Canadian, but I hadn't lived in Canada for 12 years, I'm back, and I live in the warmest place in Canada, by the way, Kelowna, British Columbia. It's actually a desert, very mild winter. For me to go into like freezing water, which is like a little bit frozen on the top, is like insane. But I'm doing it. And so I love the idea of marking it with a word, let it be a theme. And then, but I also like to add that habitual ritual, and then something that would like mark it. So for me, that's what I'm doing for my year of strong. I'm starting strong in, freezing water, and good God, maybe I might need medical attention, but I'm doing it.
So do you literally cut a hole in the ice, and are you jumping into a river or a lake?
Oh, yeah. No, it won't be that. It's not quite that bad. I mean, the lake doesn't freeze here. It's a huge lake. It's a 60-mile lake or 60-kilometer lake. And it doesn't actually freeze, but it's still like, it could be like -10 and Celsius. And the water is, I don't know what, but it's very cold. It's more cold than, even in the summer, it doesn't get that warm, not warm enough for me. It's not like living in Dubai or, Florida, which I've done. And so it's plenty cold. You'll see the video. One of my girlfriends is a physician. And so she said, I want to come and watch this. And I said, good, because I might need medical attention. So I'll be in good hands.
Or a shot of neat vodka.
I know. I'll be needing something, let me tell you, but I'm doing it. So tell us more about your programs. What else have you got? I know you've got, you're running. What are you doing for 2019 as far as programs? Have you?
A lot of retreats next year. So we take riders to Greece, to one of the, I always say everybody should go to one Greek island and fall in love with one Greek village. Or Greek man, I don't know, whatever floats your boat. So we've been going there for 4 years. We're doing a retreat and a residency. So for people either starting their book or already in a project. And then we're also adding something new to our program next year. We're taking people on a writing and walking retreat in Spain. So in northern Spain, kind of where the Camino, that area is. And then we're planning a riding cruise for the next year. So lots on my plate, and then sort of online mentorships for people writing their books. That really is where a lot of my energy is going. And then Women's Month in South Africa. I'm always make sure I'm in South Africa for August, because that's when we celebrate Women's Month here. It's slightly different to the International Women's Day. And just interesting. I'm no longer actually certifying with the YPO, so that's something that's coming off, because this year was a lot of what do I take off my plate, actually.
Right.
So this has been a year of closure and letting go, and things in my business I'm saying no to. So actually I've created a lot of space. So next year I see pockets of white space, which is making me so happy and excited.
Exactly. There's new space to create into.
Exactly. And I've got, so my third book is being republished actually this week. And then I've got my fourth book that is already on the go with my business partner. And then I've got another book in me that I'm going to write about this location free. So I'm going to be writing as well. Because sometimes we help others to write, and sometimes we write ourselves.
Yes.
And then also my partner and I are going to go and look at Greece together and Spain together in terms of where do we want to live next, and what kind of lifestyle. So that's an exciting thing on the personal front.
Yes.
And we've got big family time now, so with our moms here from around the world, so just doing a festive family time. And I'm very excited for next year. I have loved turning 50. It's been a really important thing in my life and my journey, and I'm excited for next year. But there's still 3 weeks of this year, so it's also just letting that year sit there and not putting too much in it yet. Like I'm still here and I've still got lots to do. And
Yes.
so not projecting too much yet into the future.
Yeah. I love that. I love that, Kate. It's just so great to be around like mine and feel that energy coming off of you. And I'm totally feeling your energy and drinking it in. So, and that makes me happy. It really, it ignites my soul when I get around people like you. So it's wonderful. And thank you for making time for us. But before we go, can you give the listeners an idea of where they could find you online? Where would be the best?
Yes, super simple. My website kind of is the hub of everything, and it's my name. So it's kate-emerson.com. And everything is hubbed through there. So they can see the Closeout Strong. They can sign up for a free video course. They can keep abreast of me on social media. It's all there. And I blog regularly, and they can go and check me out and come and say hello. So I would love to hear from your listeners. And I know that you're doing beautiful work in the world. So well done on getting your podcast out. It's very courageous and brave. Yes. And thank you for having me on.
Oh, well, thanks, Kate. Thank you. I so appreciate your time. As we both know, things are busy now, and but that's why I'm still going with my podcast and sort of banging these out, because I think it's important, and it's been fun. I'm still in 2018. I'm still allowed to have fun, so it has been fun. But before you go, could you just share with the listeners? I always ask my guests, what do you do personally on a daily basis to ignite yourself or reignite yourself when you're sort of not feeling it?
So a cup of coffee on my own, quietly and mindfully. So I love it. That first cup of coffee in the morning. Journaling, so kind of really writing. And if I don't write every day, I will sit and I will pontificate, and you might call it meditation or just quiet time, but just really just sitting quietly with myself. And I can do that wherever I am, whether I'm traveling or whether I'm in Johannesburg or Dubai or Greece or San Francisco. So just always that quiet time. And also when I wake up, before I actually get out of bed, I do a little sort of own version of my own mantra, prayer, gratitude before I kickstart, before that brain kicks in. So I'm always very mindful how I wake up and not letting myself get off center before I've even started the day. So that's important to me.
I love that. And I do love that habitual ritual of that sacred cup of coffee, what is just you, right? And you're just let your body wake up and your cells wake up and your brain, and just and being grateful and just being in your own bliss there, at least for 15 minutes or something before the day takes you away. So I love that. And it's a great grounding as well. So beautiful. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, and happy holidays to you. And I am sorry that you won't make it. So the other thing about Kate is that that my upcoming movie, Becoming the Keys, is released January 17th. And Robin J., the producer, this is the third of her trilogy of the Key movies. And word is the last of the Key movies. Anyway, I don't think it's the last for Robin, but the last of the Key movies. But Kate was in the second movie, which was, is it The Secrets of the Keys? Oh my gosh.
Correct. The Secrets of the Keys.
Secrets of the Keys.
And Kelly, I was just looking because it was 3 years ago, and I was just looking because it was end of November, and all of those pictures have been coming up on my news feed, on Facebook. And my partner and I, Naldo, we flew from South Africa, and my mom flew from England and met us in San Francisco. And then we drove from San Francisco to Yosemite and Death Valley, and then to Vegas. And I was dressed by one of South Africa's top wedding designers. I had this beautiful, I called it my liquid silver gown. Yes. And it was just the most profound time. And, I come to America every year, and sometimes 2 or 3 times. And I haven't been since last November, and it just wasn't on the cards this year. And I can't get there. And I'm really sad not to be at the premiere on the red carpet. You're going to have, I'll go goosey again. You're going to have such a ball. It's so beautiful. I'm so happy for you. And you're going to meet 2 of my co-stars. You're going to meet William and Alfredo Bersosa from Colombia.
Yes.
So just enjoy meeting them. And I'm really sad not to be there, but I know what a blast you're going to have.
Yes, well, I was sorry to hear that you weren't going to make it. Rob and I were talking the other day, and I was like, oh, I really wanted to meet Kate, but like in person, and be able to have some time with you and have fun. But I know that somewhere along the line, our lines, maybe we'll design a retreat or something together. That would be really fun.
Now you're talking.
Yes, exactly. I like that. But anyway, well, we'll be thinking of you, and you'll see the pictures and videos and all of that. And yeah, I just can't wait. We're all excited, as you know. You know the drill.
Great, great. And I can't wait to see number 3. I really can't.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be really, really great. So
Fantastic.
Wonderful. Well, with that, I will let you go, and thank you so much. And in the meantime, please, let's all get out there and finish strong for 2018 and find some ways to ignite or reignite yourself to finish strong and share those sparks with the world. And in the meantime, next time, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.